When the movie opens, Robin Hood has been languishing in prison for a while. Can you tell me how he gets there, what leads up to that?
Well, it's inherent in the script, but he's off on the crusade, which was happening at that time. And while we don't go into how he ends up in prison, one suspects it was while they were doing war over there, he was captured.
Can you tell me, Robin's a hero in the movie, of course. Is it because of circumstance, or do you think it's just his nature to be a hero? He would have done something else if it hadn't been saved the...
I think some people are born leaders, but sometimes it takes situations for that to come to the surface. I mean, people can be leaders without ever having to be heroic. It's just time and circumstance dictate what somebody has to do, and often when those circumstances come up, you see people rise to the level of what's expected. In this instance, he was, he has been a warrior. You know, he's very unlike the traditional Robin Hood, who has basically been in the Sherwood Forest, and the biggest crime that he's committed, or his only experience, has been maybe killing the king's deer. This is a this is a mercenary.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember when I watched Silverado and you were twirling your 6 guns and riding, and I thought, hey, here's an actor who does his homework. Mm-hmm. Some actors don't even bother to learn a little piece on the piano.
Right.
So when I watched this movie, I saw it again. You did a lot of preparation, didn't you?
Well, I knew that I was going to have to do these things, so I just prepared so I wouldn't look foolish.
Can you tell me what you did?
Well, I practiced sword fighting and quarterstaff fighting, and practiced with the bow and arrow and loading it fast, and just seeing how fast I could be with things and efficient,
The sword fighting looks dangerous, especially the last scene, because those things are big, aren't they?
They're big. And he's fighting with my father's sword, which is considerably bigger than my sword, and so he basically is whacking at me the whole time, so I was trying to stay out of the way of that thing. It was kind of dangerous.
What was the most dangerous thing that happened to you on the movie?
I think probably something that no one will ever see. It was the first time we tried to land the boat on the beach. I was in a small boat, not the boat you actually see in the movie now. We had to go back and redo that. It was such a small boat, and it almost tipped over, and I probably would have died if I'd gone over because of the sheer weight of clothes that I had on.
Speaking of your clothes, I like them. I thought they looked great. Before you did the movie, there was some concern about what you were going to be wearing. I hear your costumer played a kind of a joke on you.
Yeah, I played a little bit of a joke, but it didn't last too long. He said he thought out a new approach and then had a little green pantyhose there, or whatever you call those stupid things.
So you're kind of taken aback?
I just stood there and looked at him about 4 seconds, and he decided that maybe he should tell me right away that it was a joke.
You'd see the back of you. Can you tell me about that fight in the water with Little John? That looks like it was really cold and really long, and I mean, it's worth it.
It took a long time to shoot. Yeah, it's a good scene. It needed to be, though, because you have obligatory scenes in Robin Hood where you have to try to suddenly make them very fresh and new. Put a different twist on them. We did it. It took us about 4 days, and I was in the water constantly because I was losing most of the time.
Aren't you afraid of getting pneumonia and stuff when you do that?
Well, I don't think about it, but I think the producers are afraid that's going to happen. But you have to kind of keep trudging through.
Can I ask you what it's like to win all those Oscars? How does it feel?
It felt very good.
Can you tell me, is it something you'd love to do again?
Well, winning's, everybody knows that winning's more fun than losing. Like to be in films that are considered of that caliber in the future, and we'll see what happens with how awards fall.
Are you happy with the way you handled the whole thing?
What, the awards?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, whenever something really big happens to you, afterward you either think, I did a good job, or, oh, geez, I lost that up. How do you feel about it?
I don't really edit myself over a very genuine moment. I basically probably was the only one that tried to write something down as a speech, because I'm contrary to popular opinion or whatever people think about actors. I knew that the moment would be very big, and there was people I wanted to thank, and I wasn't sure that I would remember, so I risked, I guess I wasn't very cool, but I wrote some stuff down because I just didn't want to forget.